and welcome to Let's Play Unreal World. I have tried some different things and failed some in my capturing program, but hopefully we will have no problems this time. My problem last time is that I didn't get the whole screen on the recordings. But we're gonna do Unreal World, and for those of you who never heard of the game, it's a roguelike game, and it's pretty hardcore. If you die in the game, you lose all your progress. There's no save and test save and load back. There's nothing like that. If you save the game, you basically quit the game. So we can't do cheesy things like save before we go to battle and try over and over until we made it. We will have to be smart about how we proceed in this world. The world is set in Finland in the Iron Age, and the point of the game is to just survive. Actually, we're gonna call this guy Heki because it sounds Finnish. And this is the different cultures in the game. You can go to the cultures menu, and you can read about the Norwegian and the Nordic people. You have 3 Nordic tribes. You can read a little bit about them. Eastern people, what I'm gonna play is this race, because they are the most, they have the most strength, they weigh the most, and they have the highest height. So they are the best people when coming to fighting and that kind of stuff. They're good in that. They're pretty general good in everything. Unlike if you choose the Seal tribe, for example, they are experts in fishing and hunting. But they are very short and not very strong people, so they're not the best in the fighting. And also they are nomads, so they just travel around in tent-like buildings with furs and hides as walls and roof. But the Kaumelaiset, I don't know how to pronounce that. Kaumelaiset. These people are pretty good at building and farming and such. You can read how they live mainly on active hunting and fishing. On their hunting trips, Kaumo men can spend weeks alone in the wilderness, so they are pretty good survival. And they are starting location, their land is pretty close to the Nierpes, which are the slavers in the game. They are not a playable faction, but they are in the game, and they will cause some troubles. But we will go with Kaumelainen, since that's the easiest, I think. You will not choose the easiest start in this game. You can choose to start in spring, summer, autumn, or winter. Winter is pretty hard in this game because there's no grass growing, and you need to get water after you chop hole in the ice. It's pretty hard actually, but. So we're gonna start in spring. There will be a little bit winter in the start of the game, but later on we will it will melt. I think we're starting in April or something. It's not called April in this game, but compared to they have 12 months like we have in real life, but they're in different names and different ways of calculating the year. I will come back to that when we get into the game. I was thinking about this first episode going to be character creation and just some general startup stuff, and then we're gonna proceed more for the progress in episode 2. So what I'm looking for in this Heki guy is high speed and high agility, and also high endurance is pretty good. Intelligence and will. Intelligence determines how fast you learn skills, and will determines how fast you get afraid, for example. And I don't know how afraid actually how impact that does have on the guy, but you get the message that he feels frightened about the woods and such when you have low will. They will also be hard to keep awake. Let's say you're pretty hungry, you don't have food, and the guy is extremely tired. You will need to get food, or you will die. If you have low will, he won't be as resilient to work when he's tired, compared to people with high will. But we're gonna reroll. This guy is not good. He's low weight as well, 78 kilos. That's not good. This is okay. Not what I want. I want high speed. I want a good speed. This is pretty good. You have good speed, good endurance, not that good dexterity. I don't know exactly what dexterity, what skills they give. I think agility is agility and speed. I think that's my dodge ability. We get low intelligence and average will. But the rest is okay. I'm a little bit worried about the dexterity, but we're gonna try this character out. This is the different spells and magic. I have not got too much into this. I don't know how it works actually. You can sacrifice to tank the spirits and other worldly beings in the various occasions. I don't know how they pay you back, because I've been throwing axes and stuff in swamps to get this ritual going, but I don't know if it actually works. If, for example, look at fox traps. To make a fox trap fable, leave it laying at the doorstep of a building where woman folk will get to walk over it. Doesn't say what it does. Just says what you can do. Be it birds or hares you are after, the loop snares you are about to use are made favorable by leaving them in an ant nest for 3 nights and only then picked up. Yeah, so what you're saying is that if you take your loop snare and put it in an ant nest and have it there for 3 days and pick it up and try to catch them after that, we should get animals faster in the trap. I'm not sure how it actually works, how many percentage or whatever. We're not gonna bother too much about that. I will try to do it, but we will not put that much energy in it. So when it comes to skills, I actually got pretty good dodge skill. I get 80%, so that's perfect. We will have spear skill. That's important. Spears early game we can make javelins, which will be the best starting weapons, I think. And bow is pretty good to have skill in as well. I will put spear and bow. Sword fighting. My guy is. You can see that you have stars after the skills. That depends on how interested we are in that skill. So the more interested we are, the more skills we get. It's also explained in the right section here. So we got bow and spear skill now. Let's do carpentry, because that gives us the ability to make better javelins and other handcrafted items. Timbercraft, I usually put skill in Timbercraft. I don't know if we're gonna do that this time. Fishing, we always put skill in. Fishing is a very, very important skill to have early game. Where to put the last skill, I wonder. Tracking is pretty good. We can probably do it any better. Maybe put even more skill in tracking. Tracking makes you look and find tracks easier. No, let's not do that. Let's actually do hide working. Hide working is pretty hard to level up, so we need to have that skill. I'm happy with that. Now the game will generate the world. The world size and form will always be the same, but what's inside the world is random. I think you have some rivers and such who is always the same, and like the lakes in the middle here, they will always be lakes here, and the formation of the mountain is pretty the same. But other places, like these waters over here, is random. Every time you will have different locations on the towns and the waters, and yeah, different landscape every time. So we're gonna check out. You can see here, here's the different cultures in the game, and we are the Kamu. So we are in the green. That's our home. People live. There's their territory, and I can show you that. You can see all these white squares are towns, and when I go up to the old tribe here, this tribe, they don't have the same kind of villages. They have I think the red spots are their villages, and they only have some tents. They are a kind of nomadic people, pretty good at hunting and tracking and all that, but not that good in fighting. Like the seal tribe who lives up here, they have good fishing skill and all that, but it's not that good at fighting, for example. You can still fight with them if you have the right weapons and skills, but it's harder. But we're gonna. I can also talk a little bit about the Nierpesit, which are all the way to the right here. These people, you can't play as them. It's not possible. And they will travel around all the world, so you can find them in every place in the world. If you want more of them, you actually need to go into their territory, actually, because there's only one guy roaming the world. Not one guy, but he's a single man walking around. He's a lone wolf. There's a lot of lone wolves, you can say, about Nierps. But they are dangerous, and they are living off slavery and war. So they are the bad guys in this world. And that's. I will try to start at the Drick location. I've never done that before, but I heard that it's the best place to do some trading. The Drick people, as you can see here, they are a pretty advanced civilization, as they have. You can see the black lines between the towns. That's roads. They have roads between their towns and pretty developed civilization. So we will start in close to them to make sure that we get the items we need. Fishing rod is super important for me to get that start. I always get the fishing rod first, because the fishing rod will make getting food early on easier. In the start of the game, you can also dry some meat, so we can dry fish, for example. Let's try to start around the Drick. So I will press R to randomize my starting location. You see this red square there? That's my starting location. We will randomize until we start pretty close to Drick. We was pretty close there, but not close enough, I think. I might be pushing buttons here forever if I not... Okay. The next location who is... I actually need to start pretty close because I need to trade right away. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. So we are starting between the ocean, Drick and a river. That's more than we could ask for. So let's enter and play this world. These are the different starting scenarios you can choose from. This is the standard Unreal World. Start playing at the middle of a wide, unfamiliar wilderness. You will have random starting items depending on what race you are. You will always get one culture item who is only for your culture. Not only for your culture, but you will find them on mostly on the cultures. Or Drick, which trade almost everything in the game. They have it's the most civilized culture, and they will trade. You can get most items you need in Drick towns. But if you, for example, want a spear that Cologne, I can't even pronounce it, my own culture, if you can get to them, you can buy or kill some of them to get the items you need. I will do this one. You encounter a band of ruffians in the wilderness, so we're gonna start with 3 robbers try to rob us. How we're gonna do? Didn't I press yes? We will not do any tutorials, we will only do the standard. Yeah, this is the story of the land and that. This is the scenario I choose. Throughout your childhood, you loved to listen to the fireside stories of adventures and hunters telling of life beyond the small village borders. At a very young age, you decide that you would one day set out on your own, looking for adventure and excitement in the wide wilderness. After leaving your family and home, you're seen a bit of the world and had a bit of experiment as well. But one day adventure found you instead. But one day adventure found you instead. While wandering alone and minding your own business, you look up to see a band of ruffians approaching. They haven't offered you violence yet, but the potential for it is in their eyes and their hands resting on weapons. Will you try to run, hand over your meager belongings, or stand your ground against the mob and risk injuring or even death? This scenario puts you face to face with possible danger. Will you take the offensive or try to escape with your skin intact? The next step is up to you. Keeping your starting equipment means risking your life and fighting the bandits off. Let's start. He started pretty close to me. Let's see what kind of item we started with. Caramelized knife. I always start with the caramelized knife. I don't know why. I want the spear. The spear is one of the best spears in the game. We started with a lot of clothes, so that's good. We started with an inferior wooden shovel, which is pretty bad. Too bad I didn't manage to get the last Let's Play to working. We're actually gonna start running. This guy seems to be following us. I can't run there. Oh shit. Well, run down there then. Can I escape now? No, we can't. We're running in 13 kilometers an hour. That's pretty good. Can I escape now? No. We need to escape these guys. We don't have weapons to deal with them. At my last... I tried to make a video an hour ago. I had some problem with my capturing studio, so 1 hour of capturing was just thrown to the garbage. But I got a pretty good start. I started with a bow and 8 arrows. I started with a fine woodsman axe, which is excellent. I also started with a cleaving axe, and I got a perfect fishing rod, which I traded to myself. But this time we was not that lucky. We got hand axe, so at least we got an axe, and we got a good knife, and we got some good clothes as well. You have pretty good protection against cold, actually. That's pretty much because of this fur overcoat. That's pretty good to start with that. Let's check out the world map. Yep, there's no... we're inside the territory, but there we found our first village. So let's hope that this village got a fishing rod for us. I also can check if this, it seems to have been capturing the whole screen this time. That was my problem with the last video. It didn't capture the whole screen. It only captured the center and didn't capture the right side of the screen. So that was a problem for me. Yeah, no fishing rod there. I will also try to haggle for some food here. The way you trade in this game is that you just walk into the town and you pick up the items you want, and then you need to talk to the people to pay them. You can of course try to escape with items, but it's pretty hard. They will follow you, and people tend to follow you around as long as you're in their town, and watch so you don't do anything you're not supposed to. I'm pressing the wrong button. 79 turnips. I don't know if you need turnips. They have a fine splitting axe, which I don't need. Splitting axe is pretty specific axe. It's good for making firewood, but that's pretty much it. So let's see if they get some fishing rod over here. At least they got a lot of food. They got a battle sword and short sword, which is pretty good. But I don't have any good skills in, you can see here, in swords. We are pretty bad in swords. So we should focus on using spears. No fishing rod here either. What about you? Do you have fishing rod? No. You can also trade directly with the people. There's a lot of buildings here, so I should actually be able to find some good items here. We've already seen some good items. We've already seen swords, battle sword, for example. There's a net here. That actually that's actually better than fishing rod. Actually, you can fish with nets as well, of course. They will follow me closely now because I took some items from them. What is this? Is more net maybe? Nope. Hemp seeds. I guess you can make ropes and such from that. They have animals here as well. You can buy animals. You can't take wild animals and put them in a bin and have them as your own. That's not possible, so you need to buy animals if you want to have animals in your own bin. But we can still hunt for them. Okay. It is time for us to pay for our net now, I think. I don't know what we're gonna pay the net with. I can check one more house if there's something. Did I check this one? Yeah. So we're gonna try to take the net, trade the net, and also trade some food with the net. Can I grab some food here? Yeah, we can grab dried salmon, which is gonna be pretty much expensive, I guess. Let's try this. Let's try to trade with this woman over here. Hello, Drikkeleis maiden. I will say hello to her and tell her that I am Hekki Kaumolainen. Good to know you. Who are you? My name is Aune. Okay, I will pay my debts to you. You got a net and dried salmon. That's what you have to pay for. Let's ask what she would prefer from me. It's hard to decide, but at this point, how about your rough leather boots, rough linen trousers, rough hand axe, inferior wooden shovel, and 2 roasted elk's cuts? She wants a lot of me. I will not give her my hand axe. I need that. I will give her my rough staff. You can also have my shovel and a leather belt. I will give you as well. I can also give you my boots. Is that okay that you got there? What you have offered needs to be tripled to get those goods for yourself. Triple, you say, huh? You know what? I think this is going to be too expensive, so we're gonna drop the food we picked up, the salmon. Dried salmon is pretty good. Dried, you have 3 different ways of preserving food. You can dry food, which you can only do in the autumn, winter, and early spring. Like now, we can do it for 2 weeks more. Sweden month is April, I think, and next month is going to be seed month. That's same as May, I think. So the way they calculate the time in this game is like you can say this is day 2 of second week before summertime. So you have 4 seasons in this game. You have summertime, midsummer, and winter, and midwinter. So now it is 2 weeks before summer season starts. So they're counting the weeks down in this game. And I'm pretty sure that in 2 weeks we get to seed month, and that's when we lose our ability to dry food. So you can dry food, which is the best option. They will last the longest, dry food, and after dried food you have smoked food, which will last not as long as dried food, but it's I think it's 160 days or something. I don't remember, but dried food is 1 year. And you can also salt the food, which lasts the shortest. But to dry the food, it takes longest time to dry it. And if you smoke it, it takes a little shorter time than drying. And if you salt it, it's the shortest process. It takes only 4 days or something to salt your food. Did I drop the fish? Yeah, I did drop the fish. So let's try to trade her now. It should be pretty much cheaper now. I will sell you my rough staff and inferior wooden shovel. What you have offered is very marginal to get us goods for yourself. She won't even take my stuff. It's unworthy in this trade, and I can't blame her. Rough stuff is easy to make, and it's not good quality either. So let's trade our belt on the start. What about my boots? Tripled. Maybe we need to strip naked for this girl. You probably have to do that. Let's give away our fur hood as well. Damn, this girl needs a lot of stuff from us. We need an axe and a knife, so we can't trade away that. I guess net is more expensive than fishing rod, so the fishing rod should be a better option if we had gotten that, but we didn't. It's probably we can get it in another town, but we will check what this girl wants for want. Okay, so we all must need to give away all our clothes. Which is okay. I will do that. So now we are almost naked. We are chilly already, because as you can see, protection from cold, we are on yellow average. So the only thing we got on us now is we have a fur overcoat. So it's like we have a coat. It's okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna find a place for us to stay for a little while until we get our items up a little more. Now I need to find some water locations. Have you actually seen a water location yet? Seems like we saw some water in the north, but we're gonna stay here. This guy's a little chilly right now, but that's okay. I found another village. I think this is the sea as well. So let's okay, I found another village. So we have found total of 3 villages, yeah. Let's Is this? This is the lake as well. Let's go to the place where the water meets the land. It's not that good idea to build upon the ice. It won't last long anyway. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna eat some smoked, no, roasted elk cuts. Roasted is just burnt meat, so it doesn't last that long as smoked hassel cuts. When you have -degrees, you can put food outside anyway. You're just gonna freeze and stay fresh as long as it's -degrees outside. We made a hole there. We can also drink from the water from the hole. Let's do that. And we're gonna fish. We're gonna set a net, and we're gonna put our net we just traded into the water. So this is obviously the benefits of having nets. You don't actually need to be actively fishing. You can just come check this net in maybe 40 hours or something. I hope we have enough food for that. We have 2 breads, 1 small glaze. It's possible that we need to check it tomorrow. What we can do now is build a shelter, because you can't sleep in this game while it's raining. That's pretty same as in real life. It's pretty hard to sleep in rain. So we're gonna fell that tree. We have our axe, which is in bad quality, so it's rough quality, so it suffers a little bit there. But we have okay skill. We have what was it? 28 in Timbercraft. We gotta cut some branches. We're gonna need the branches. Maybe I think we need 20 actually, or is it maybe only? It's possible that you only need twigs from this tree. This is what is called? It is called pine tree, I think. Nah, spruce. It is spruce. Yeah, we need some spruce twigs. The other thing I like about this game is that it's set in Finland, and the picture and and the landscape is pretty much the same as we have in Norway. So I feel a little attached to these landscapes and wilderness, and the kind of animal they have as well is the same as we have in Norway. Other than that, Norwegians want to eliminate all their wolves and bears and such, so we don't have any predators in this country. It's mostly the hunters and farmers who are the most who is fighting the hardest for that to happen. Because in Norway, the farmers have the sheep and animals roaming around in the mountains and such without any surveillance. There's no one to look after the animals, so it's for the wolf. It's food on a silver plate, and when the wolf kills one lamb or whatever, the farmers scream and the state shoots and kills, or they listen to the farmers. Let's build a shelter so we can sleep while it's raining. Handex is right over there, but suffer from rough quality. Yes, I know. We used 41 minutes on building that shelter. That's okay. We're also going to move all this over there, so we can make a fire while we sleep. We are a little cold, so we need to get some warmer. let's sleep there. Yep, it's nighttime. We woke up a little early. That's okay. So I think that's enough for today. We're gonna do next episode soon. Hope you liked it, and thank you for watching. Bye bye, guys.